this will be a session just to discuss about realities of business, poetry, and how to navigate through life.
I'm an entrepreneur. I have a background in banking. Right now, I am a meat distributor, aka a butcher.
Okay.
Because I'm married to a Nigerian man.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not yet adopted a Nigerian accent.
Imagine, no? The only way I could deal with that death was to drink more, party more, like it was havoc.
It's only the Lord who can change people, and the best thing you can do is perpetually invest in prayer. Now I'm looking at your life and I'm like, oh, this girl got a child in campus and still believed in marriage.
Greetings in the name of the Most High, Jah Rastafari. My good name is Marley Moses, the positive warrior, alongside...
Yes, sir, DJ D-Rage, the baddest. Each and every Wednesday from 10 p.m. on KBC Channel 1 TV.
Tunakuletea the biggest reggae party in 254 in a yard extra. Extra niceness of reggae music.
Extra dose of entertainment.
When the thing is nice,
we have to do it twice.
Je, umewahi kuwa na deni ya KRA? Basi usiwe na shaka. KRA wakishirikiana na KBC wamekuandalia roadshow murwa kabisa. Jiunge nasi tukufahamishe kuhusu KRA Tax Amnesty Program na jinsi utakavyoweza kusamehewa adhabu na riba na KRA. Pia tutakuwa tunakusaidia kujaza fomu za kodi za mwaka 2024 na kukusaidia na huduma za KRA kwa mtaa wako. Kuanzia Ijumaa tarehe 9 hadi Jumapili tarehe 11 mwezi Mei, tutakuwa na mobile clinic mjini Nairobi katika maeneo ya Junction Mall, Imara, Ruby's Petrol Station, Thika Road Mall, TRM, Sarit Center, Kibra, Buruburu. KRA, tulipe ushuru, tujitegemee.
Shukisha mzee.
Hapa hakuna stage.
Wala shukisha ama mimi kapiga nduru na pesa yako msilibi.
Mimi sitaki kisirani. Shuka.
Thank you.
Shuka.
Poleni. Wacha nipigia mtu wangu wa insurance akuje washughulikie.
Mtasign hizi forms. In a few weeks time mtakuwa mmepata fidia yenu. Poleni sana.
Kwani kampuni ya Ipima ilifungwa?
Unataka kusema hatutapata pesa?
Wewe na hizo tu unaangalia namna hiyo.
Policyholders Compensation Fund PCF ilibuniwa ili kufidia wadai wa kampuni ya bima ambayo imewekwa katika usimamizi wa kisheria au leseni yake imebatilishwa. Iwapo umejaza claim forms na insurance ikakubali kulipa lakini ikafungwa, tembelea tovuti ya www.pcf.go.ke kisha ufuate taratibu za kujaza claim na utasaidika kupata fidia. Policyholders Compensation Fund, dhamana ya bima yako.
Now, any moment from now, we expect results of the first vote of the new Pope. And this will be indicated by smoke emerging from the Sistine Chapel chimney from the Vatican. Remember that this conclave has more than 130 cardinals participating. We are tracking that for you tonight and a host of different other stories that we've covered ground for you. This is Prime Edition. Top on this live broadcast. ESCC detectives arrest 8 senior NYS officials over a conflict of interest in 2 billion shillings worth of tenders.
Tumekuwa na matatizo ya mashamba hapa Narok, lakini mimi nataka niwahakikishie hiyo matatizo yote tutatatua.
President Ruto meets Kalenjin and Maasai elders to resolve a land dispute that has claimed 6 lives. And who will it be? 133 cardinals from 90 nations gather in Italy's Vatican City to elect the next head of the Catholic Church. Thank you for choosing KBC Channel 1 to inform you this Wednesday night. This is Prime Edition. I'm Doreen Arange and Wangeshi is our sign language interpreter. Let's inform you. And our President William Ruto has expressed regret at the deadly clash between residents and police in Angata Barikoi in Narok, saying it should never happen anywhere in the country. Speaking while issuing title deeds in Emurua Dekir, Ruto said he had met Kalenjin and Maasai elders and agreed to amicably resolve the dispute over the 6,000-acre land that left 5 people dead and dozens injured. Abdiaziz Hashim reports that the government will compensate or provide alternative land to the families evicted from the Mao forest.
On the second day running, President William Ruto, his deputy, and a host of leaders from Narok County toured Emurua Dikir, Narok South and Narok West, drumming up support for various projects being implemented in the region.
Tumekuwa na matatizo ya mashamba hapa Narok, lakini mimi nataka niwahakikishie hiyo matatizo yote tutatatua.
While issuing title deeds to residents of Emurua Dikir, the head of state broke his silence on the Agata Barikoi clash that led to 5 people being killed and dozens injured after residents clashed with police officers over the 6,000-acre piece of land in the area.
Hata ile ya Angata ilikuwa na kisirani juzi. Nimeita wazee wa Kalenjin, nimeita wazee wa Maasai, tumekubaliana vile kazi hiyo tutatatua na tunataka amani kuwe pale na kila mtu apate haki yake.
Hii mambo ya title, Your Excellency, imekuwa kisungumkuti kuanzia mwaka wa 80, 70 tumekuwa na shida hapa kwa minajili ya title.
President Ruto said he had met Kalenjin and Maasai elders to resolve the land dispute.
Na hata kule Narok tumekubaliana hivyo hivyo. Na hata hapa Oldekesi tunaenda leo, tunataka tuhakikishe wale wanagombana pale, tunaenda pia kunyorosha watu wa Narok West.
The government will issue title deeds to end prolonged feuds over land ownership in several devolved units across the country. Those evicted from the Mao forest will be compensated or resettled elsewhere.
Na tulikubaliana hakuna kurudi msitu tena. Si tulikubaliana namna hiyo? Ile kazi iko sasa ni vile either tutawapangia shamba mahali lingine ama tuwapatie compensation. Mambo ni mawili.
Leaders accompanying the head of state accused the opposition leaders of empty rhetoric.
Na mimi nawauliza wale wengine, bado mambo ya siasa haijafika wakati yake. Saa hizi ni wakati wa kufanyia kazi wananchi wa Kenya.
Wale jamaa nimeona ati wanafanya mikutano ya kupanga ukabila. Hao jamaa waambiwe sio ati atuko ready, we are ready for them. Siku ya kampeni ikifika tutawamalizia asubuhi na mapema. Kweli si kweli?
Na wamesema 2027 tunachagua nani? William Samoei Ruto wakiwa na Kindiki.
Sisi tumeshikana na William Samoei Arap Ruto kama broad-based government. Sisi hatutaki ukabila. Hiyo miaka nende miaka rudi ndio imefanya tubaki nyuma.
On development, the government will spend over 2 billion shillings to construct 8 critical roads, among them Korkor Jiship Road, Sogo Melelo Ololunga Road, and Goswani Morijo Road. Ruto also launched a last-mile electricity connectivity project in Emurua Dikir, laid a foundation stone at the Amalo Sub-County Level 4 Hospital in Sogo, and issued title deeds to residents of Enkoirerui. With President William Ruto concluding his 2-day developmental tour in Narok County, he is set to tour various other parts of the country to continue to drum up support for the better programs across the country. Abdiaziz Hashim for Prime Edition.
And now the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission on Wednesday arrested 8 senior officials at the National Youth Service and their proxies of allegations of conflict of interest and abuse of office procurement of tenders worth 2 billion shillings. They are accused of trading with NYS through various companies between the financial years of 2019, 2020 and 2024-2025.
Integrity Center in Nairobi County was a beehive of activity as one after another top National Youth Service officials and their proxies were brought in to record statements. The suspects allegedly abused their positions of trust to embezzle public funds through collusion, procurement fraud, and payment of fictitious contracts. The persons of interest include Nicholas J. Makoha, who is the Deputy Commandant General of Operations and Logistics at NYS. Others include David Muthembogo, Head of Supply Chain Management at the Gilgil Paramilitary Academy, and his 2 spouses, Felista Wanjiru Wandugi and Winfred Cherotich Towet. Other persons of interest are Joseph Maina Kagiri, camp accountant at Gilgil Paramilitary Academy, Elias Muthe, who is a brother to David Mbogo, Naftali Kaberu, who is a proxy of David Mbogo, and Florence Muthoni Karanja, wife to Naftali Kaberu. According to ESCC, the operation on Wednesday yielded valuable evidence that will support the ongoing investigations. This probe is reminiscent of the 791 million shilling graft scandal that rocked the NYS in 2015. The outcome of the investigations will determine the next course of action, including prosecution of those found culpable and recovery of proceeds of corruption. Nancy Okware reporting from Integrity Center, Nairobi.
And now the government intends to review upwards the remuneration of primary school head teachers to reflect their expanded responsibilities under the competency-based curriculum. Education Cabinet Secretary Julius Ogamba says the Teacher Service Commission and the Salaries and Remuneration Commission are planning to do a comprehensive job evaluation in the public teaching sector in the financial year 2025-2026 to job content, input and output factors and the new responsibilities. The Cabinet Secretary made the remarks when he appeared before the Senate plenary on Wednesday morning.
The Commission has commenced negotiations for the 2025-2029 CBA in line with the Salaries and Remuneration Commission guidelines. Accordingly, in line with Article 234B of the Constitution, the Commission has submitted proposals to CRC, together with the request to conduct job evaluation in the public teaching sector, noting the new learning areas under CBC in order for it to inform the kind of remuneration that the teachers should get with this added responsibility.
Senators have taken issue with a section of cabinet secretaries whom they accuse of allocating national resources to their home counties, contrary to the constitutional principles on equitable development. Senators who criticize failure by National Treasury Cabinet Secretary John Badi to appear before the plenary further called for introduction of a legislation that will bar CSs from accompanying the head of state to political rallies or to functions deemed partisan in nature.
Speaking on the floor of the Senate, lawmakers questioned the growing tendency by some cabinet secretaries to announce funding projects in their region, arguing that such actions risk creating regional imbalances and undermining public confidence and national leadership.
What about this man called Opio Wandai? When you say you've gone to borrow money on behalf of the entire Kenya to take to Nyanza, what about Tana River County? What about the Coast Region? What is wrong with you people?
Iwapo mawaziri watakuwa naangalia maeneo yao na kutenga fedha za kuwatetea wao, hakuna haja wao kuleta stakabadhi za kupitishwa hapa Senate. Wao wanaenda katika vijiji vyao wapitishe bajeti zao na watuachie sisi jumba la Senate na jumba la kitaifa kutetea wa Kenya.
Whereas in the last budget, the Jaramogi Hospital could only access 300 million from Professor Nyong. Now that he is Minister for Finance, in this budget, the hospital will be given 3 billion shillings. Is that what we want to allow as the working of the Constitution? We must say no, so that we protect smaller communities, unlucky communities that do not have a minister. The minister of the national government at the Treasury is not the minister for any community, leave alone the Luo community. He must serve us equally.
Senators further said no region should be seen to receive preferential treatment from a cabinet secretary.
Some of these individuals who joined government recently think they are there to represent their ethnic communities. That every time a cabinet secretary stands up, he tells you how much the Ministry of Energy has allocated to power projects in Nyanza. So the rest of us lawyers are sitting there wondering, Allah, so who is going to speak about the projects in Bungoma? Who's going to speak about the projects? Honorable Speaker, I have said on this floor that as a Senate, as a Parliament, it is the responsibility of all of us, irrespective of our political parties, to oversight the national governments and the county governments. Honorable Speaker, if there is a problem with a CS, that CS must account to Parliament as an institution, not even to their political parties or this thing monster they are calling broad-based. It doesn't exist in my view.
At the same time, a section of senators called for the introduction of a legislation to bar cabinet secretaries from accompanying the president to political rallies.
These people are supposed to be technical people. The people who should accompany the president are governors, senators, members of parliament. These are the people who should be there on the ground. What do these people do? And the fact is, whenever the president is not there, they don't go to those places.
In his ruling, the Speaker of the Senate called on the lawmakers to invoke the Senate standing orders and table a censure motion if they have evidence that any cabinet secretary has acted outside the confines of their constitutional mandate.
We have lamented enough. We have vented our frustrations enough. It is time you invoke Standing Order 51D and move an official censure motion against some of these CSs so that we can see some seriousness going forward.
For Prime Edition, I'm Gladys Wongai.
And now to a story we are keenly tracking for you tonight. 133 cardinals from 90 nations have gathered in the Sistine Chapel in Vatican City, Italy for the Papal Conclave 2025. The conclave convened on Wednesday afternoon, exactly 16 days after the death of the 88-year-old Pope Francis. Results of the first secret ballot are expected any moment from now.
The cardinal electors face a stark choice, selecting a pontiff who will emulate Pope Francis, an Argentine reformer who advocated for migrants and the environment, or one who will get the Catholic Church down a more traditional path. The Vatican said this year's conclave will be the largest ever. 133 cardinals are participating, of which 108 are novices who have never taken part before in the selection of a new pope. The exact number required to elect the Pope also changes based on the total number of electors in attendance. Only 5 cardinals present in the conclave this year voted in the year 2005 and the year 2013. Philippe Babain of France, Josip Bozenik of Croatia, Peter Erdo of Hungary, Vinko Pulik of Bosnia and Peter Taxon of Ghana. This is how the events unfolded on Wednesday. At 10 a.m. the cardinals gathered at St. Peter's Basilica for Mass. 4:30 p.m. the cardinals entered the Sistine Chapel, where each cardinal saw the oath to observe the rules of electing a new pope. Cardinal Raniero Cantalamessa delivered the second meditation, after which everyone but electors left the chapel so that the cardinals begin the conclave in isolation. Black smoke from the Apostolic Palace will signify that voting will continue on Thursday, while white smoke will mean a new pope has been elected. In 2013, black smoke from the first vote came at 7:41 p.m., while in 2005, black smoke from the first vote came at 8:05 p.m. If a new pope is not elected on the first vote, on Thursday morning, the cardinals will hold a mass at 8:15 a.m. before 2 more rounds of voting are held. Michael Mondiga for Prime Edition.
Right, and that story by Mondiga takes us on our first break. We'll recall with plenty more, including business and sports. Stay with us.
Je, umewahi kuwa na deni ya KRA? Basi usiwe na shaka. KRA wakishirikiana na KBC wamekuandalia roadshow murwa kabisa. Jiunge nasi tukufahamishe kuhusu KRA Tax Amnesty Program na jinsi utakavyoweza kusamehewa adhabu na riba na KRA. Pia tutakuwa tunakusaidia kujaza fomu za kodi za mwaka 2024 na kukusaidia na huduma za KRA kwa mtaa wako. Jumatano tarehe 7 mwezi Mei tutakuwa maeneo ya Thika Road, TRM, Mombasa Road, Pipeline, Bahati, Kariobangi, Buruburu Shopping Center, Fedha, Kayole, Dandora, Mwiki, Kasarani, tumalizie Roysambu. Kisha Alhamisi tarehe 8 mwezi Mei tutazuru maeneo ya Westlands, Kangemi, Uthiru, Kinoo, Dagoretti, Satellite, Kibra, Ngong Road, Nairobi West, Karen, Ngong na hatimaye Rongai. KRA, tulipe ushuru tujitegemee.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, Kenya.
Wake up with Good Morning Kenya, the morning show that's got it all.
We dive deep into issues shaping our country.
Youth are a voice of a nation.
What is the next step for the young people?
Unpacking political landscape from Monday to Wednesday.
We discuss family matters.
It is very important to guard your relationship.
And for your health.
Someone doesn't wake up and they become an addict. It's in stages.
We've got you covered each and every Tuesday at 9 a.m.
Every Wednesday, it's all about The Viewpoint.
A day in politics is like 1,000 years.
Unpacking the biggest stories of the week, getting you insights and getting you ready for your day.
And the package is not yet done. I get to fix your Thursday with some entertainment. Entertainment Thursday, it is.
Good morning, Kenya.
We shape your day.
Good Morning Kenya, every weekday morning on KBC Channel 1.
Welcome back here on Prime Edition. Let's continue to inform you. And a city lawyer, Esther Bitutu Kadiki, who has been arraigned in connection with the theft of 1.5 billion shillings from Equity Bank, has been ordered to deposit 30 million shillings in court to secure her freedom as investigations continue. The Directorate of Criminal Investigation Banking Fraud Unit has unearthed the suspect. Bitutu is believed to have aided in siphoning the loot. Details of this and other stories in our Scales of Justice segment.
Barely a week after DCA arraigned wanted suspects at Makadara Law Courts in the 1.5 million shilling electronic fraud and hacking into bank systems. The Banking Fraud Unit, through Office of Director of Public Prosecution, were at Milimani Chief Magistrates Court from Tuesday seeking 14 days to detain Nairobi lawyer Esther Bititu Kadiki over the Kenya shillings 1.5 billion alleged to have been fraudulently obtained from Equity Bank. Chief Magistrate Lucas Onyina on Wednesday ordered her to deposit a 30 million shillings bond and be reporting to the investigating unit whenever she is summoned. Elsewhere, the Director of Criminal Investigations has been granted 14 days to detain 2 murder suspects pending investigations. Felix Ochieng and Rydon Majoni, who are security officers at VIP Club in Nairobi's CBD, allegedly killed a non-male adult. Investigators say the duo attacked a revealer at the club and inflicted serious injuries that led to his death after he was allegedly found with a stolen mobile phone. The case will be mentioned on 21st May 2025. And in Mombasa, an imam has been charged with defiling a 14-year-old boy. Ahmed Malau is accused of sodomizing the minor on 28th of April this year inside Muijabu Mosque, Mirikiti area of Mombasa. Appearing before Mombasa Senior Resident Magistrate David Othiambo, the accused denied the charges and was released on a 500,000 shillings cash bail. Pre-trial of the case is set for 27th of this month. Letua Debra for Prime Edition.
Interior and National Administration Cabinet Secretary Kipchumba Murkomen has confirmed security agencies have intensified a crackdown on the collaborators in the murder of Kasipul Member of Parliament Charles Ongondowere. Murkomen, who was speaking during a security tour of Meru County, also assured the public of safety of the president being intact despite the security breach in Migori.
Made very significant progress in arresting the perpetrators and their collaborators, and it will shock you to note that this is a very heinous crime that was done in a very cavalier manner, involving people that ordinarily some should have taken good care of the interests of the Member of Parliament. On the incident that happened during His Excellency's function, I think that is something under investigations, and therefore I leave it at that to show whether there was really security lapse or whether there was intention or motive to harm the president, or it was a different issue. So the investigation is ongoing.
Approximately 60,000 inmates countrywide are said to be registered under the Social Health Authority in a move aimed at boosting healthcare access for prisoners. At the launch of the Social Health Authority registration initiative at Langata Women's Maximum Security Prison in Nairobi County, Correctional Services Principal Secretary Dr. Salome Biako emphasized the government's commitment to upholding the dignity and health rights of all citizens, including inmates.
The government has reaffirmed its commitment to ensure that inmates across the country access quality and affordable health care. On Wednesday, the State Department for Correctional Services rolled out a national registration exercise that will see all offenders enlisted under the newly established Social Health Authority. Correctional Services Principal Secretary Dr. Salome Biako confirmed that 8,000 inmates have so far been registered.
The launch of this initiative today will serve as a springboard into a rapid results initiative aimed at achieving full SHA coverage across all correctional facilities nationwide. And not only SHA coverage, but also issuance of identification cards to everybody.
According to the PS, prisoners will benefit from an integrated health system that guarantees preventive, promotive, and curative services offered to other citizens.
It's important that we all register for SHA, all of us, to save our own lives, to save the lives of our loved ones, because this is progress.
With biometric system being put in place across all stations in the country, by the immigration, we'll be able to register all inmates within the shortest period possible.
Extending health services to marginalized and vulnerable populations, including those behind bars, marks a significant milestone in the government's efforts to achieve universal health coverage.
Part of the special groups are our citizens in lawful custody, our guests of the state, who we are also ensuring that we register Other special groups include the refugees.
As a country, we would want to make sure that we are all included. Make sure that no one of us is left behind. And that's why we are here today, to ensure that the identity of all of us is appreciated.
Joseph Ohungu for Prime Edition.
The Kenya Revenue Authority is offering a second amnesty to tax defaulters in its latest bid to ensure that all taxpayers are compliant. The taxman has called on all Kenyans with a KRA PIN to take up the amnesty, ruling out the possibility of such an offer in the future. KRA will stage a countrywide sensitization roadshow across the country alongside its media partner, the Kenya Broadcasting Corporation.
Outside the Times Towers, the headquarters of the Kenya Revenue Authority. The 24 days caravan that will crisscross the country on a sensitization tour is flagged off. KRA and the Kenya Broadcasting Corporation are partnering in the month-long exercise seeking to rally Kenyans to take up the amnesty period that expires end of June.
This country fully depends on the resources that are collected through taxes. All the common services, goods, the hospital, the roads, everything else that you see in this country is because of the tax that you've contributed.
KRA has ruled out the possibility of reintroducing the amnesty offer, this being the second time it is being extended to taxpayers.
The campaign is called Now or Never because it's very rare that you get a tax amnesty 2 years in a row. So we are hoping that each and every Kenyan, we will be able to take up this tax amnesty.
When you pay the taxes that are due, you get 100% waiver on the penalty and interest and fines, anything that comes about. So this is the second time and almost the final time, because I don't see this coming anytime soon.
The taxman has also deployed mobile clinics in various spots within counties meant to enhance access to KRA services.
Opportunities available. It's been made so easy for you. You can be able to apply using our technology solutions. We have got clinics running across the country. We have got our offices, and everywhere. You can reach us in any other way. We have mobilized our staff to be ready to support you.
The Kenya Broadcasting Corporation, in the meantime, has committed to drive the media sensitization campaign across all its platforms.
KBC has got the capacity to deliver this event effectively. We have 13 radio stations that are all going to be used to promote this event, and we are also going to work on the digital component of our services. And so we are confident that we are going to help you to meet your KPIs, and you're going to have a good event, and it's going to meet your targets.
John Jacob Curia, Prime Edition.
Inspired by the harsh realities faced by women during childbirth in Kenya, the film Siri is an emotional story of Milka, a teenage girl in a rural area whose pregnancy, shrouded in secrecy, ends in tragedy. This film is our focus tonight on Cinemas and Theatre with our very own Jacqueline Masharia.
Set in a close-knit village, Siri highlights the story of Milka, a teenage girl afraid to let her pregnancy known to the public in a community steeped in stigma and silence.
Nimechoka Brian, sisikii poa.
Of course, Jukona. Unexpect nini ingine?
The film paints a raw and intimate portrait of life shaped by judgment, abandonment, and systemic neglect.
Siri is generally about teenage pregnancy and maternal health care. Those are the two main themes that we want to address. But if you look at it broadly, it addresses other issues like corruption, rural development or the lack of it, and poor leadership, and parenting as well. So Milka, who is our main character, gets pregnant by her fellow students. They're all high school students. She gets pregnant, and because of all the circumstances surrounding the pregnancy, she's forced to drop out of school. We were basically trying to address, to communicate the issue that in Kenya every day 17 women die during childbirth, so that is maternal death. And then we wanted to create a conversation about that so that people can talk about it and find a way to address it, especially in rural areas where people don't have the right information or access to the right medical care.
Cheki, history yote imekuwa mistake. Kumbuka niko na dreams zangu. After shule ni either niende UK ama US. Usijaribu kuniharibia life yangu, Milka.
So, mi ndo sina dreams.
The film, shot in Western Kenya, features a cast of first-time actors. Director Kevin Mafumbo notes that despite many of them being new to the screen, directing the team came naturally.
I partnered with somebody from Western. His name is Boniface. He has a large network of actors. So there are actors who do small skits, TikTok skits, to the mashinani kienyeji level. But if you look at them properly, you realize that these people are actually talented. So we did a casting. We expected about 20 people, but we got 78 people who came for auditions. But we only had 6 roles. So that shows you how much hungry they are for opportunities. Working with them was very easy because they're actually very talented. And most of them, as much as they don't have film or TV experience, they've been doing their TikToks, or they've done theater in high school, or they've been acting in their community, just community plays and things like that. And then some of them have been trying to make programs for TV. So some of them have that experience. I would like people to know that you don't have to be in Nairobi to make films that get a good reception. We can tell our stories from the village, our original kienyeji stories, or even tell a modern story, but we can tell them from the village. Also, I would like them to know that shooting in the village will actually cut your budget because feeding people is cheaper, transporting people is cheaper, accommodating people is cheaper, and then people should not be afraid to tell our stories in our own kind of original way. Okay, because most filmmakers are now looking to Netflix, to Hollywood, and all these big platforms where they give you standards that maybe you feel like you cannot attain.
Milka's world is harsh. Rejected by Brian, the child's father.
Niona nikifanya job, ndakutolea wapi pesa? Ni kama umesahau mimi ni student. I'm still children. I'm a teenager.
And left to hustle alone, she finds solace in her mother's quiet support. But even love and resilience are no match for the tough realities they face. Poverty, stigma, and a failing healthcare system. Will Milka overcome the challenges, or will the system fail her too?
Siri is now on YouTube. Just search Siri the film or go to Sibala TV. It is the only film there amongst other content, but it's the first film that you will see. Siri the film.
Milka mali yuko ako na amani sana. Amejua ameacha mtoto wake kwa mikono mizuri.
Jacqueline Masharia for Cinemas and Theatre.
Thank you, Jacqueline Masharia, for that. And now, as security agencies continue to intensify the crackdown on collaborators of the slain Kasipul MP Ongondo Were, reports reaching our desk now is that the Directorate of Criminal Investigations, that is the DCI, they're now requesting one Philip Nahashon Aroko to surrender immediately to any nearest police station. The DCI said that he is a person of interest in the murder of the then MP, and they're also saying that they appeal to anyone with information of his whereabouts to report or contact the nearest police station or use the toll numbers 999-112, that is 999-112, or hashtag Fichua kwa DCI. The DCI has further on continued to say that any information provided by any member of the public will be treated with utmost confidentiality. That is the latest in regards to this matter, even as police continue to intensify their crackdown on this. Right now, we take another break. Plenty more on the other side. Stay put.
Not all toothpastes are made equal. The new Colgate Total is engineered to be 3 times more effective at fighting a key root cause of many preventable issues. With its new active prevention system, 100% of people had a healthier mouth. New Colgate Total Active Prevention helps stop problems before they start.
How long will Kara be detained for?
Like a week or 2.
Mambo ya ndani imezimia tu hivyo.
I want us to have a plan.
This time usiniambie tuwe.
I forgive you. You can leave. What if I fail?
We will fight.
Do you still have that judge's number? Are you sure that is the right thing to do? Please don't tell anyone.
Loyalty can be bought.
And that's why the Njugunas have him.
Have you found Ronald's child?
Ronald will represent Alice, whether he likes it or not. Where were you all this time?
Let me rejog your mind.
Simu zangu ashiki, messages zangu hazirudishwi. Ingekuwa wewe, ungefanya nini?
A man is dead.
I'm not exposing anyone to danger.
Welcome back. You're still on Prime Edition. We continue to inform you. And residents of Itimboni, a settlement along Mombasa Road in Machakos County, have opposed construction of a cement mixing plant in their neighborhood, citing serious health and environmental concerns. Details of this and other stories making headlines in the counties.
The Itimboni community has raised concerns about pollutants typically emitted by cement plants. They are calling on the National Environment Management Authority, the Machakos County government and other relevant regulatory bodies to revoke any certificates or approvals granted to the investor to prevent further construction activity.
Today, after following the deep investigations, as of yesterday, as the county government, we have issued a letter revoking and suspending the approval that had been issued by my officers to that regard for the cement company.
And in Laikipia County, National Assembly Majority Leader Kimani Ichung'wa has said leaders supporting the government are focused on development issues rather than engaging in political competition with the opposition. He was speaking in Oljabet town during an empowerment fundraiser organized by County Women Representative Jen Kagiri.
Sisi hatuna haja na zile siasa mnasikia za kutaka kugawa watu na kabila tofauti tofauti, siasa za chuki, siasa za migawanyiko, siasa za kuongea mambo ya watu binafsi ama viongozi. Sisi tunataka siasa za maendeleo.
Meanwhile, Westlands Member of Parliament Tim Wanyonyi has defended the proposal of anchoring the National Government Constituency Development Fund in the Constitution as it will ensure its posterity.
Our role is actually to oversight the fund within the constituency, because the projects are done within the constituency. So every member of parliament will oversight that fund. So the question...
Similar sentiments on national government CDF and the ongoing public participation on its fate were expressed by Mwingi North Member of Parliament Paul Nzengu, who maintains that the kitty should be enhanced and not scrapped.
Kwa hivyo mimi nataka niambie wananchi wa Kenya kwamba watu wakiacha hii fund ambayo ndio the only fund yenye nafikia mwananchi wa kawaida, watakuwa wamejikosea sana. Sababu mimi nitatoka kuwa mheshimiwa, labda nikirudi 2027 inshallah, ama nisiporudi CDF ikiwa watoto wataendelea kusoma.
Finally, Kwale County Governor Fatuma Achani has issued tenders to 4 women groups in Kubo South Ward, Matuga Sub-County as part of a broader empowerment initiative aimed at boosting economic independence and job creation among women in the region.
Tulisema sisi tutawasaidia mkianza kutengeneza kampuni, kile tulichonacho tutawasaidia muweze kuunda kampuni. Ukitengeneza kampuni ni njia moja ya kutengeneza ajira. Leo hii hapa nitapeana NPOs 3 kwa makundi ya kina mama ambao wametengeneza kampuni. Wapi kelele ya Rais wa Jamhuri ya
Time for your business news. And Kenya's trade deficit narrowed by 0.6% to 1.6 trillion shillings in 2024. The National Bureau of Statistics says the drop was as a result of increased Kenyan exports that hit 1.1 trillion shillings as consumer goods exports increased, accounting for 70% of the total exports.
African continent accounted for 38.3% of Kenya's total export earnings, despite shipments to the continent declining by 2.1% to 426 billion shillings in 2024. The decline was as a result of decreased exports to Somalia, Egypt, Tanzania, and South Sudan. Uganda was Kenya's biggest export market, earning Kenya 126 billion shillings in exports.
Uganda, we are taking goods worth 125.9 billion Kenya shillings.
Revenue from exports to Asia rose by 22.3% from 258 billion shillings to 318 billion shillings in 2024.
We are taking to U.S. coffee and clothing apparel. Then we have United Kingdom, we are taking tea and horticulture products.
On the other hand, value of imports increased marginally in 2024, hitting 2.7 trillion shillings from 2.6 trillion shillings the previous year, with the Asian market accounting for 66.4% of the total imports. Imports from China were the highest, valued at 577 billion shillings.
China is leading. It brought in more commodities to Kenya. You are able to see 576.1 billion. Then we have United Arab Emirates with 337.3.
Kenya imported goods worth 271 billion shillings from the African continent in 2024. Benson Rioba reporting for Prime Edition.
Micro, small and medium enterprises should form cooperative societies to enhance their access to government-led social funding programs. MSME's Development Principal Secretary Susan Mangeni says the government is in the process of setting up the Credit Guarantee Fund to spark growth in the sector, which contributes approximately 40% to Kenya's gross domestic product. Speaking during the Africa Roundtable on Social and Solidarity Economic Summit held in Nairobi, the PS says cooperatives are a strategic approach to overcoming financial barriers that individual MSMEs often face.
We are really championing the cooperative movement. That's why you see our ministry is revitalizing cooperative movement, and we are really now moving across the country, encouraging formation of cooperative association, the chairmas, the self-help group, so as to aggregate the value aggregate and the MSMEs and the enterprises and give them access to sustainable market, give them access to financing, because when you are in a group, it's very easy also to borrow because you co-guarantee each other.
If the sector has grown organically, what more can we do around policy making? What more can we do around investment? What more can we do around regulation and incentives to drive more job growth, but also social and environmental impact through the sector? So it was a very successful day. The African Union launched their 10-year strategy in February, so we're really talking about how that's implemented.
Coffee farmers in Embu County will benefit from a 28 million shillings investment to support infrastructural development in 4 coffee cooperative societies. The initiative is aimed at improving production, reducing production costs, and enhancing the competitiveness of the sector through the production of quality coffee. Embu Governor Cecily Mbarire says the funds will also be used to support the construction of solar dryers, metallic drying beds, sorting sheds, the improvement of fermentation tanks, and the installation of CCTV cameras. The farmers have hailed this support, saying this will help them enhance efficiency and reduce post-harvest losses associated with inadequate infrastructure.
Actually, Embu County is witnessing the best returns kutoka kwa kahawa. Na tumeweza kupata, hakuna factory iko chini ya 100, lakini mingi ni kutoka 130 kwenda mpaka 148 per kilo.
Saa hii tumefaidika na hii muradi sababu ile pesa tulikuwa tunatenga ilikuwa kidogo. Saa hii hiyo pesa sasa tutaitumia kwa kujenga minanda yote tunataka ile yote ambao tuitoe tuweke metallic drying bed. Alafu kuna hii sehemu nyingine wakulima wanachagulia kahawa inaitwa sorting shed. Nayo hiyo sorting shed tunataka tuitengeneze vizuri ndio kahawa ikimwagwa chini isiwe saa zingine unakuta hata kahawa imechanganyikana na mchanga. So itengenezwe vizuri ndio tuwe tunatunza kahawa vizuri.
And now some good news to residents of Mukuru kwa Ruben here in Nairobi, where the over 1,080 affordable housing units under the Mukuru social housing projects are set to receive keys to their houses, marking the official handover next week. The Affordable Housing Board is currently undertaking a final verification and signing of sale agreements at the social housing project in Mukuru kwa Ruben ahead of that handover. President William Ruto is expected to oversee the exercise that had earlier been scheduled for April 2025.
Legal challenges to the housing levy caused delays in the completion of the first phase of the Mukuru social housing project, which was initially earmarked for completion in December of 2024. And now, 1,080 studio units are ready for occupancy.
So today we are here receiving the acceptance of letters of offer, as well as guiding them towards the signing of the tenant purchase agreement or the sales agreement for these units. Upon the signing of the agreement, you are handed over your units and it is ready for occupation.
The project spans 56 acres and includes 13,248 units, comprising 5,616 studio units, 3,024 one-bedroom units, and 4,608 two-bedroom units.
For the studio apartments, because these are social housing projects, the government has put in a great subsidy into the cost of this unit, and so the unit is only costing 640,000 Kenya shillings. But for people who are in the social category, those are earning below 20,000, the government has come in with a further subsidy of giving them deposit assistance.
The Affordable Housing Board is currently undertaking a final verification exercise and legal sensitization for would-be owners at the site.
Tumekuja hapa kuona hizi nyumba zetu zenye serikali ilikuwa imetuahidi. Hakika tumesipata. Kila mtu amejaza hiyo form, amepata hiyo form yake, kila kitu iko through.
Kwa sababu ya ile wave imefanywa, unalipa 3% interest, alafu pia unalipia maintenance insurance, yote iko kwa ile that 800, na hiyo that 800 ni kwa bed sita.
Mheshimiwa, ningeomba tu mheshimiwa, hata mimi ni konsitu kwa kwanza kupewa hii nyumba, sababu hata kwa leo tumeshughulikia, zinaendelea zinaisha, watu wamekuja kwa wingi kuitafuta.
Persons who had already registered under Boma Yangu had been vetted and remunerated is soon coming to fruition. They continue to steadily trickle in into this particular site. This is Mukuru kwa Ruben, where in the next few days, President William Ruto is expected to hand over 1,080 keys to new home owners under the social housing program. I'm Regina Manyara reporting for KBC Channel 1 from Mukuru kwa Ruben.
All right, and internal auditors have been encouraged to harness the power of artificial intelligence to enhance accountability. Institute of Internal Auditors Chairperson Lilian Mwangi says digital audits enable real-time monitoring and reporting, improving regulatory compliance and reducing the risk of disruptions due to fraud.
Internal audits are pivotal in corporate governance as they ensure transparency and the reliability of financial reporting, which are key elements in fostering investor trust as well as long-term sustainability. As business models evolve, auditors have been urged to shift from manual tasks to deep analytics and data-driven decision-making to enhance competitiveness.
The internal audit functions have evolved over time,
We are now working as strategic advisors to our organizations. We are moving to giving real-time assurance through utilization of efficient data analytics in our audits so that we can continue to create value for the organizations.
Additionally, county governments have been urged to allow internal auditors to operate independently without interference to provide objective and unbiased assessments of activities.
The audit department plays a pivotal role in the managing of risks and also evaluation of controls to mitigate misuse and many other things in the counties and also in the national government.
Nduta Mokami for Prime Edition.
Wewe nyamaza toka.
Huyo ni mwizi wa hiyo kijiji na kila mtu anamjua. Juzi kalipo achomwa. Kwa nini unafananisha mimi na wakina?
Nani?
Hao makoa.
Wewe si mtoto wa Shigondi Mako.
Na makoa hapo tunaishi wengi. Si mimi peke yake.
Lakini yeye mbona hakuendea wao wengine alimekutambua wewe?
Kukunishonea
nini? Nguo.
Wale wa kuchukua vyombo mwisho.
Auctioneer.
Ndio hiyo auctioneer.
Sasa ukisema auctioneer wa kushonea.
Si ndio ulijiibia?
How do you steal from yourself?
Why do you send some means?
Are you listening to yourself?
Of course, why not? Yeah. Why not?
Mimi naweza kuchapa sana wewe.
Hapana kucheza na mtu iko na neema.
This will be a session just to discuss about realities of business, poetry, and how to navigate through life.
I'm an entrepreneur. I have a background in banking. Right now, I am a meat distributor, aka a butcher.
Okay.
Because I'm married to a Nigerian man.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not yet adopted a Nigerian accent.
Imagine, no? The only way I could deal with that death was to drink more, party more, like it was havoc.
It's only the Lord who can change people, and the best thing you can do is perpetually invest in prayer. Now I'm looking at your life and I'm like, oh, this girl got a child in campus and still believed in marriage.
A very good evening to you. Welcome back to KBC Prime Edition. My name is Karen Kibet. Let's now take a look at what's making headlines in the world of sports. Now, Kenya's rising stars salvaged some pride at the Under-20 Africa Cup of Nations by playing to a 2-2 draw against Nigeria in their third and final Pool B game earlier this evening in Egypt. Morocco defeated Tunisia 3-1 in their other Pool B game played today.
Rising Stars blew away Leeds twice in their final Pool B game against Nigeria to end their Under-20 Africa Cup of Nations tournament without a win but with a point. After taking an early 6th minute Kevin Wanganya lead from the spot.
For Kenya, are they going to go ahead for the third match running? Yes, they are! Although this time, it isn't Lawrence Akot, it's the captain.
Parobo Ariehi equalized for Nigeria 7 minutes later as the game went into the break tied at 1-1.
They won their first ever win at Under-20 AFCON. Swung in, it's a really great ball! It's finished!
William Gitamu again put Rising Stars ahead in the 68th minute, and again 5 minutes later, Kenya gave away a penalty which Captain Daniel Bamei coolly slotted home to leave the two sides with a point each.
The Under-20s, they have now a bronze medalist 4 years ago. He's now leading.
Morocco defeated Tunisia 3-1 in the other Pool B game to top the group with 7 points, ahead of Nigeria, who finished second with 5 points, while Tunisia were third with 3 points, 2 points above bottom side Kenya.
Christina brings it down, shot blocked, now Dubal with space, he takes it, and it's in. Plays his football in the Netherlands as well for Den Bosch. Can he be the hero for Morocco? Well, it's not him, but his delivery results in what could easily be a winger.
Barclay Feather, Prime Edition Sports.
Thank you, Buckley, for that report. Moving on, the Kenya National Handball Under-20 and Under-18 women's teams began their hunt for the Zone 5 Africa IHF Trophy on winning notes as the Old Kampala Sports Arena in Uganda. The Under-20 women team began the tournament on a high against Tanzania, coming from behind to beat their neighbors 46-29 in an evenly poised encounter. The Kenyan ladies were ahead 21-14 at halftime before they stretched that lead in the second half to secure a comfortable win at the final whistle. The Kenyan Under-18 team began the tournament with a massive 73-2 win over Somalia in a one-sided encounter that restricted Somalia to just 2 first-half goals. They followed up that win with another resounding 46-16 win over Ethiopia earlier today, proving that they are the team to beat in the tournament that has attracted 8 countries, including Kenya, hosts Uganda, Rwanda, Djibouti, Tanzania, and Somalia. The men's tournament will be played next year at a venue yet to be decided. Now, the Sports Cabinet Secretary Salim Mvurya today officiated the groundbreaking ceremony for the Talanta and Sports Academy of Suba South constituency at Magunga Primary School. The transformative 55 million Kenya shillings project is aimed at monetizing talent and uplifting livelihoods through structured talent identification and nurturing to the global stage.
The Suba South Sports Academy will be equipped with 8-lane athletics tracks and include other sporting disciplines, as well as a social hall to benefit both the local community and the wider region.
The formation of the academy is such that we will have 8 running tracks. We will have a football pitch, we will do a basketball pitch, we will do volleyball, we will do netball, we will do 2 changing rooms for both male and female. We will do a social hall, we will do a borehole, and also install water facilities.
CS Mvurya directed the contractor to give priority to local residents in employment opportunities during the project's implementation. The academy will be one of the 37 academies across the country that the Kenyan government is constructing in their mission to throw a wider net to trap a big chunk of the sporting talents so as they don't go to waste. In addition, CS Mvurya also elaborated that the Raila Odinga International Stadium is almost complete.
Hii maneno ya tartan track, immediately after Madaraka Day, we will also do in Raila Odinga Stadium. I know it will cost us slightly above 100 million, lakini tutafanya. Ili hiyo stadium isiwe tu ya Madaraka, iwe ni stadium ambayo tunaweza cheza mpira wa kimataifa.
Buckley Feather, Prime Edition Sports.
Cabra's Sugar rugby head coach Carlos Katua has been named the Sports Journalists Association of Kenya Coach of the Month for April. Now, Katua, a South African tactician, was exceptional in April, leading the Kakamega-based side to a double. Katua steered Cabra's Sugar RFC to a remarkable double, successfully defending both the Kenya Cup and Enterprise Cup titles. The Millers showcased resilience and precision, narrowly edging out Menengai Oilers 27-26 in a thrilling Kenya Cup final on 12th April before delivering a commanding 32-12 victory over the same rivals in the Enterprise Cup final on 26th April. Katwa emerged top among 4 nominees to claim the prestigious accolade, which includes a cash prize of 100,000 Kenya shillings and a customized trophy, courtesy of the continued partnership between SJAC and Betika in celebrating sporting excellence. Now, Kakamega Homeboys FC head coach Francis Baraza finished a close second as Kenya's Women's Sevens head coach Dennis Mwanja and Shabana FC's Peter Okidi Mwanja completing the podium positions.
This goes to my teammates, my players, my tech mates, everybody. This is a collective award. I know today I might be the one collecting it, but this belongs to the entire tech team. They've been working extremely hard.
They're talking to the panel and hearing how tough it is to pick a winner. It's actually amazing. You guys are doing a great job. The coaches, you're doing a great job.
And those are all the sports stories we had for you tonight. I'll see you tomorrow with more sports news. Be sure to watch that Champions League match beating Arsenal and PSG later this evening. Good night. See you tomorrow.
Time for me to now exit and sit ground for the next program. We definitely appreciate you for your valid company from 9 p.m. till now. We do not take that for granted. Thank you so, so much. This has been Prime Edition. I'm Doreen Arange, and Wangeshi has been our sign language interpreter. Good night.
Say the earth without art would just be get it? We circumnavigate the globe and traverse the local scene to bring you art and culture at their very best. From fine art, culinary art, performing arts, and even cultural events, you name it, and we have got you covered. My name is Kevin Kasioki, and I will be serving you this and much, much more each and every Friday at 8 p.m. only on KBC Channel 1.
Mount Savannah, eh? Mount Savannah.
Shule yetu twaipenda ya mlima wa Lavana.
Juhudi tosha ama juhudi wazi za kuyatetea mazingira yetu.
Ina haja gani tuongeze juhudi, sera za serikali na sheria iwapo zipo tayari? Tunachohitaji sasa kufanya ni kutilia mkazo.
Wewe kama mwananchi hauzingatii hizi kwa makini, unatarajia aje hizi mikakati yaweze kuboresha